Good day, everybody. This is another episode of Live Life, Be Happy 24/7. You know, it's me, the legend, Jonva. You also know me as the man of the hour from the other show, which is A Slice of Canada, which is affiliated with Radio Wigwam. Love all the support you've been giving me all over the world. I just want to say thank you and blessings on that. I know today's a special day it's Father's Day, so for all the fathers around the world, I want to say thank you again. Thank you for your purpose. Thank you for your dedication, all the sacrifices that you've made to help us be where we are today. And with that, I'm back to my other home, back over there in London, the UK, with a very special guest. My special guest goes by the name of Sofia Gillani. Sofia is an emerging artist. I'm going to say multi-talented pop and soul singer, songwriter, and a whole lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. So welcome, Sofia. How are you today?
Hello, I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and thank you again for taking time out in your busy schedule to kind of jump on. And, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on the new EP, Monsters.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that came out late April. That was incredible. Love the project. Definitely a bold, very indulgent in my horror fanatics kind of song. It's done amazingly so well. And actually, a new single of mine, LED, has just come out for pre-order and will be released on June 30th.
Very nice, very nice. Bravo on that. I was looking at your bio and I did a little reading. I noticed that you've had a very interesting journey as a creative. And, this show is about sharing the journey with our international audience so they kind of can connect and kind of, vibe with you as well. So as I always do with all my guests, I take the audience seat and I will give you the platform to share this Sofia Gillani journey and story. So tell us about it.
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter that originated in London, but now is actually living in Surrey. I've released 7 and soon to be 8 songs, and will be actually releasing an EP in later June with loads of new material. I started out as a singer, literally from screaming in my garden to getting in the studio with the support of my dad, happy Father's Day, who's been there and guided me and mentored me throughout my whole journey and still is mentoring me throughout my journey.
Nice, nice.
I'm very blessed to be where I am today. And with my music, I want to create a safe space for people, like how they can connect with my music, whether it be through happiness, sadness, excitement, whatever's going on in their lives. I want to create a community. And that being through the figure of Sofia Gillani.
Okay, cool. And thank you for sharing that. Now, my question to you is, what was the inspiration behind Monsters?
I wanted to take the idea of what a monster really was and just completely reimagine it. Because I feel like, definitely it being near the Halloween time as well, I was just feeling in a really like kind of ethereal, abnormal, kind of weird funk. And I just wanted to produce something that would be so like completely out of it. Like, for example, all my other songs, every song that I produced is not the same. They're all completely different messages. So I wanted Monster to be kind of like just me experimenting artistically. And yeah, and I love the reaction it's gotten. And I love just being able to kind of sing it live as well, because it's just such a fun song to indulge in and be that monster overcoming obstacles, etc. Yeah,
it was very catchy. I love the cinematic vibe to it. And as I'm being a creative and I'm listening to it, I'm hearing other things. And you just said live. And for some reason, I'm thinking at some point in time, I would love to probably hear the acoustic version of that song.
oh my God, 100%. My dad's a guitarist, so you say that, he's working on it.
I mean that we've connected on social media. So Pops, if you're listening, I want to hear that acoustic version because I'm like, it's a very nice song and it's a very intriguing, it's very eerie, and it kind of gets you thinking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. I kind of like that. Now, I also noticed that you had a lot of influences along the way, but let's start with some of the folks who influenced you to today along the way.
Day along the way. Okay. Well, I listen to a very varied range of music thanks to my family who listens to literally everything from like really calming jazz to like the next day like rock and punk.
Right.
So I've had the advantage of listening to literally everything. growing up, it was definitely Adele with her soul and R&B. I wanted to have that kind of like mature feel despite being ridiculously young. And now I'd have to say my influences are definitely Sia. I love her. I think her kind of brand is just incredible. But also just like really underground bands like Coin, and I don't know how, but they found me. It's just, I don't know. I love how they express themselves. I love their messages and would kill to see them live.
Very well, very well. Because I hear a lot of things when you sing. Even in that one composition I've been hearing, I'm like, yeah, I hear a lot of influences, and I'm like, okay, I did hear a little Billie Eilish somewhere in there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God, Ocean Eyes got me through like 2 years.
So very good. Now, something that I want to ask you about is that you played a lead in Evita when you many years ago, and share with us, that experience. 'Cause I like that Broadway show and movie. So
Yeah.
tell us about Evita.
I was a massical, oh my God, massive musical theater fan. I love musical theater, still love musical theater. So obviously when I was at the young age of 11, turning 12, I auditioned to sing Don't Cry For Me Argentina in Evita, and I got it.
Hi.
And it was just, oh, it was such an amazing experience. Just like the rehearsal periods, just kind of getting to know myself on stage, and performing in front of people at that age. That was like my beginning, and to have such a bold song was truly an enriching experience. And hopefully sooner than later I'll be performing in more musical theater alongside my music career.
Very good, very good. Okay, I love to hear folks that have so many different things in play. With that, I kind of did a deep dive on your bio, so you have to tell me the experience of being involved in the whole video production and directing. Where do you have the time to kind of do that? Please share.
I have to say that, like, it being in the music industry, you have to like allocate your time well. I've come to see that music is like one half of me, and the other side of me has been like education and work and etc. Now
Right.
I've finished my GCSEs, so now I can focus completely on music. But in terms of allocating my time, when it came to just working on the music itself, writing, recording, and then seeing like the visual boards for music videos, I would allocate at least 3, 4 hours of my time just really perfecting. Because what was going to be released is my face, like it's what I want to express, and I'm not going to express something to the music industry that I don't feel is my best, is what I want to show. So I do take my music very, very seriously. I'm quite down.
Very nice. So I have to ask that question. Like, wow, I mean, you have a lot of things going on here. So we're going to have to kind of touch upon these things. Also, if there was any artist out here that you would want to collaborate, who would that be and why?
Um, I'd have to say right now, definitely either Doja Cat or Charlie Puth, because I
Okay.
love Doja Cat. Her new single was just, you know, I'd love to just see the thought process behind that and just kind of blend either her rap and my kind of pop, or Charlie Puth's pop and my R&B.
Hmm. Charlie Puth, interesting. Charlie Puth is also a Berkeley alumni, like myself. And we kind of had the same professor, which is Prince Charles Alexander, five-time Grammy Award winner, who worked with Beyonce, Diddy,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, and Biggie too as well. So when you say Charlie Puth, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely digging his stuff. He's like everything that he writes is just like spot on. So
Yeah.
very good. The other thing I had to ask, and I noticed that you had something with the BBC. Please share that. I was like, and then I was like, oh, BBC. Okay, tell me.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I have been involved with the BBC on numerous occasions. My song "Water Run Dry" was played on BBC Introducing. That was surreal. Hearing it in the car, like just driving, and all of a sudden, oh my God, that's me. That's my voice. What the hell? Um, I remember I also did this gig in Westfield, London, and BBC was also there, which was incredible. But yeah, that was one of the highlights of my career for sure.
Yes. Well, you have an amazing career ahead of you, my friend, and I see many great things. I am also the other half to a slice of Canada, really amazing radio show that we're aligned with. We're in Canada, over in the UK. I think we kind of bridge like three countries and a whole international. So at some point in time, I can't wait to hear you kind of get some materials off to my team so we can kind
I'll
of,
be there.
we
You'll
can
still
check
be
it out. We can check it out. We always got a show that we drop like once a month. And like I said, it's all about the indie artists, and like I said, I'm, an advocate for indie artists, and also I'm an advocate for women in music as well. So
Thank you
that,
for the support.
yeah, that's my thing. That was my purpose. After I was done, my Berkeley thing, I was just like, yeah, I have things already in motion, but I kind of want to inspire and help, other folks as well to get their
Yeah.
voice. We're all one village, and we're here to, as I always say, kind of uplift and help humanity, especially in these times.
100%. I feel like music is just such a core part of everyone's life. It can get you through something, or it can just be something in the background. It's definitely a part of my life. Every scenario I've been in, I've always turned to music. So for you to uplift people and support people who are trying to make music for people that need to relate to something, it's pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you. I always like to ask my desk, how did you make out as a creative during the pandemic and trying to keep the creative, we'll say the creative flame on blast?
I feel like the pandemic was bittersweet for me, like a two-sided coin. It was very much like, oh my God, we can't perform in front of people anymore. This is like we have to keep distances. So it's very hard to connect with people in real life visually. But
Right.
on the other hand, it gave so much time to reflect about on what's already happened that I felt like I had enough time to myself to just write and just be in the studio. Whenever I felt upset about the pandemic, it was literally just, let's express what that is, like let's express what feelings there are. And music is definitely an outlet for me. So the pandemic was a time for me to refine my craft, to
Mhm.
write. I've got like thousands of note pages just of
Right.
started lyrics. um a material that I recorded in the pandemic is now being released later in June. So I feel like the pandemic gave me that kind of break from life and more of a kickstart in the music industry. And now that we get to perform again, now I've got all this music that I can share. It's very relieving.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm the same way too. When for me the pandemic has made a lot of friends around the world.
Yeah,
Had a
definitely.
couple of collaborations. I had one with Adam Wed with the Abbey Roads team. Just a lot of stuff, just creative, just coming around, just kind of connecting and just kind of trying to make a difference. And now that we are at this point, we're seeing all the hard work coming into fruition. You know,
Mm.
and that's it. As long as you say you have a story to tell. I mean, everybody that I know, who's a fam, we all got a story to tell. We all got a story to share. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
And
we
through hard times, people connect.
yeah.
They feel that like community is more important than ever, especially through hard times. So for the music industry, that was definitely a key factor.
So true, so true. Next thing is what's new on the horizon for Sofia Gillani with projects?
So, like I said, on the 30th of June, my new single LED comes out, which you can check on my socials on Instagram, sophia.anisa.gillani, and on YouTube, Sofia Gillani, yada, yada, yada. Also, I'll be releasing a EP with around, oh God, 8 to 9, but to be honest, I keep adding music later June or just like beginning of July, which is surreal to think because, love summer for music. Definitely more festivals coming up soon. Picnic and Pops in Aldershot's coming up. Hazelmere Fringe, which is coming up. I can honestly never say there's always something new coming around each corner. So just stay updated.
Okay, all right. The next thing is, I know you shared everything like that, and thank you for sharing all your social media tags.
Thank you.
As we come to a close, I always like my guests to share a quote that will inspire our international community and one, give them hope and a purpose because there's someone out there sitting here, hey, I'm listening to Sophia and her
Hmm.
story sounds like my story. And, I like to kind of plug and play this to kind of help me along the way. So take a moment, and ponder on this. And then, you have the platform.
If I had to say something to everyone listening right now, I have to say that if you were looking to be someone who is going to be releasing in the music industry, or just as a person in general, no one can do what you do. Everyone has a story to tell, like we said earlier, but everyone has a different story. No two stories can be exactly the same. So you as a person, you as a brand, you as a personality can never be the same as someone else's. So when pursuing the music industry or when just going through life, have that confidence. Work so hard that you no longer need to introduce yourself. And like my dad always says to me, appreciate the small victories.
Very well said. Very well said. And with that, I never say goodbye. I say until, our next dialogue and conversation. I always do call back my guests because I always want to know what's new on the horizon, what they're doing, so we can kind of help. What we do here is to help and inspire and to get the artists' of voices out. I already mentioned to you about Radio Wigwam and Slice of Canada, all that good stuff. So I'll definitely send you the link. And when you're ready, definitely share some things over there because, like I said, we do this together. And with me, and I'm glad that your father had reached out to me because we connected immediately. And he's like, this guy, probably like he's the real deal, And I'm like, cool, man.
I'll tell him you said that. He'll be over the moon.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm not up there in the stratosphere, man. It's not about that. Just trying to, make some really good quality content and music that will inspire. For me, it's when I sit back and I see an artist doing their thing, I'm like, yo, wow, look at them. They're just doing their thing and they're just shining. And that's what we need in this world. We need a lot of people like you to help shine.
Oh, high praise.
To help shine. So with that, like I said, until again, I wish you all the best on your new project. Be looking out for some of your things. And like I said, just continue being who you are and inspire people because, I checked out your stuff and it was very inspirational. I'm like, yeah, I like it. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all the support. This has been lovely.
Well, thank you.